Babyliciouses! Welcome to Babes in the Conclave, a Traitors podcast where a couple of queers talk crushes, gay drama, and strategy. Today we are covering the Traitors USA Season 4, Episode 10. I am Australian Traitors' most faithful of faithful, Annabel, and joining me, my ride or die, it's Australian Survivor's sexiest first boot, Philly.
Hello. How are you, Annabel?
I'm going really good. I'm finally better. I've been socializing. Can you believe it? I'm a new woman. I'm born again.
I kind of liked your Delulu era, though.
I kind of loved my Delulu era as well. Remember when I was like, had a literal fever and thought Stephen Coletti could potentially be the greatest faithful to ever play the game?
I loved it. And do you know what was funny? I was on the 10 Play app and I saw that. So they have 24-hour insert channel whatevers. And they had on the MTV one, it was like a Laguna Beach marathon. And so, yeah,
Oh my
I put that on.
God.
And I was like, wow, he was literally a teenager. He was
Oh
an
my
actual
God. Yeah, he
literal
was in
baby.
high school.
Yeah, he was a
He
literal.
was in high school.
Like, he's not that much older than us. Like, some of these people I forget. I'm like, oh, in your mind, they're really old, but we're old now.
Yeah, I'm old.
Yeah.
I'm old. And like Jericho reminded us,
Yes.
ew, 30s?
Yeah, exactly. I am not in my 30s. I'm only
Disgusting.
22 or whatever. That's so funny.
Crazy. All right, spoiler warnings coming up. Full spoiler warnings for the Traitors USA. Spoilers for Australian Traitors. I was on it. We're going probably, Traitors for USA. I want to make a light reference to UK Traitors Season 2. Then maybe we do occasionally give in light spoilers for other English-speaking seasons that have happened.
Yeah.
So
and also, I think I thought this last time when you said this as well. It's like, a lot of our discussion is building upon seasons in the past. And so if you haven't watched a lot of the like, for example, how we sort of referenced it last week, there is dated strategy that people who are watching these shows for the first time that we're already saying that's old. And you wouldn't really know that unless you had already previously seen all the seasons. So I would say, like, while we do preface spoilers, also our breadth of knowledge is also kind of a bit of a spoiler, I guess you'd say.
yeah, we're building on the meta, the growing meta of global Traitors universe is what we're trying to do here. All right, overall thoughts on this episode, Phil?
I liked it. So it's funny. So I was saying I saw some of the other survivors the other day and we're sort of catching up on what we've been watching lately and Survivor 50 and Redemption and the Traitors. And one of the things I was saying to the others was that I have found that I actually, this might be obviously my favorite season of US Traitors, but also I haven't found as much as seasons in the past, the schlump of this last sort of final 8 to 7 to 6. It doesn't feel that like we're just going through the motions. Like there's something about this group of people, and maybe a lot of it's the interpersonal drama that's still sort of moving it along. Like maybe it's that Tara and Johnny are carrying this part of the season on their back in terms of that drama. And so I'm actually quite liking it. Like I came out of this episode being like, you know what? Even though we predict that it's a Rob win for the last 15 billion weeks, I'm still interested.
Yes, you're so right. Like, this was a great episode. And it's, I think we're aligned on it hands down being the best season of US Traitors so far. But I actually think within the broader Traitors universe, it's a good season, which is not something I would ever say about the Traitors US before.
No, because
it's good.
Did we even cover the finale the last 2 times?
Probably not.
So, like, I feel like next week, projecting my mind into next week, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to watch it and talk about it.
Oh, some sweet soul on our in the YouTube comments last week said, "Oh, hey, by the way, I'm looking for the Traitors Quebec season 2 finale coverage."
Off-season coverage.
And I was like, I'm so sorry. We never did it. Sometimes we just don't. We will. We'll cover the finale. Though, pre-warning, I'm away next weekend. So our finale coverage will be late. But I promise it will happen.
Yeah.
It will happen within a week of the finale dropping.
Oh, it's all right. I posted the UK4 finale like 2 weeks after it had happened. So it's consistent.
It will happen. All right, we got some really great reviews and comments this week. So Ashan3991 from YouTube says, Best Traitors podcast, funniest commentary, sharpest takes, and a couple of cuties. Thank you. Your
Yay.
validation matters. Then Charlie Fuckett and Yankee Fog have both voted Pet Hets as the official title
Yeah.
of our heterosexual audience.
Okay.
And I love that. I think Pet Hets,
Yeah.
let's lock it in. I've already promised Mark Warnock a Pet Hets Babes in the Conclave cropped tee.
Yeah. Well, like I was thinking about this last week. Like Mark is effectively like an honorary babe as well.
Yeah.
He's like both.
Yeah.
So he gets 2 in 1.
He's kind of chief pet het.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, queen pet het.
Yeah. Love that. And then Davis Fang. I wanted to give Davis Fang a bit of a shout out. He was very appreciative we put the YouTube up fast. And I did want to thank him for his advice over the years. He is one of the people who strongly encouraged us to actually make any video content in the first place and maybe be a little bit more consistent with our drops, which we try. Honestly, we do. We're trying. We're a couple of chaos queers. What can I say?
Yeah.
Anyway, he also asked that we properly address Dorinda and what a flop she was this season, because we kind of just glossed over her last episode being the flop she is.
Yeah.
She gave us absolutely nothing this season, Phil. Like, why did we even bring her back?
Yeah, because I think, because in my mind, I think me and Mel talked about it a bit, but then I didn't talk about it at length with you either. But it's basically, I think because the Dorinda conversation is like a evolution of the conversation we had in our preseason, isn't it? So
yeah,
there's 2 strategies that the reality stars take when they go on the Traitors. They are either going to do the most because it will get them screen time, and that is valuable to them, or the longevity in the game and the very minimal screen time also is like worth it to them, and that's what they do. I.e., people who also fall in that category, Mora. So, we have this like 2 strains of people approaching this show. They're all there to quote unquote play, but how they succeed or what they perceive as success for them on this Emmy-winning, highly rating show is different. Dorinda, clearly, having done the most last season and then got murdered, clearly decided that by doing very little, her longevity was going to be worth it more than her playing the game or whatever. The thing is, by doing absolutely nothing, she got no screen time, didn't contribute to anything, and basically was just there, which then equates to everybody being like, well, why did we even bother?
Literally, why did we even bother? Being on a larger number of episodes, frankly, doesn't count if you're barely in those episodes. Her impact on last season was way bigger, and she was there for 1 episode.
Yeah.
Flop, flop, flop. I don't want to see this again.
Yeah.
I don't want to see someone come back and do this again. And I want to talk, there's apparently the rumors are Traitors US season 6 is going to be a Traitors US All-Stars season. So we can have a talk about the rumored names for that and what we think they'll deliver there.
Yeah.
All right. We've also had some off-season coverage suggestions, which please keep them coming in. So obviously next week, Traitors US wraps up. And then I don't know what's going to come out next. We'll have India at some point, New Zealand and Australia at some point. If any non-English speaking seasons are coming out in the meantime, we'll cover those. But we're probably going to have a couple of months of no Traitors. So Mole 2820 suggests that we cover some of our old favorite seasons in the off season that we never did in the first
Yeah.
place, which I did quite like this idea.
Yes. Because we could do both AUs, including your own.
Oh, am I emotionally ready
Okay, we don't need to do
recap
AU2.
my own season?
We don't need to do
Yeah.
AU2, but AU1 definitely. It's very long, but like we could
It's
do
so
it.
long. Okay, we could do that. I also don't think I ever fully watched the US season 1. I think I like fast forwarded through chunks, but do I really want to watch it? It was kind of
New
snooze.
Zealand 1.
We didn't cover New Zealand 1 and I loved that season. We also never covered Quebec 1.
Yeah.
Which I kind of half covered with Puya, but then we never did the last few episodes. I think my just because the episodes weren't coming out with subtitles, I think number 1 billing for me would be Quebec 1.
Okay. Do you know what?
And maybe UK 1.
Yeah. Do you know what? Quebec season 2 finale leading into Quebec 1, leading into UK 1.
Yeah. Look at us go.
And it would be nice for you to be on a UK podcast.
Yes. I know. I often cheat on babes. All right. Velocireader from Spotify has a recommendation. They're like, you should watch Traitors France season 3. There's a gay traitor couple, a fabulous actress who's convinced she's psychic, and a swearing old lady.
We're already going French speaking anyway, so that sounds like a good logical slide.
Yeah. This feels very on brand for us.
Okay, after Quebec, straight into France.
Love it. All right, and then we got, I don't know if you read this, Philly. It's a bit of a lucky dip as to which one of us you get when you message us. We got an Instagram message from Grace, whose sibling is related to Wes, who told us last week we need to update the cover image, which we will get around to.
Yeah.
Grace sent us a really lovely message. It kind of made me cry a bit, actually. Yeah, and they suggested that in the off-season we should do a full spoiler deep dive into the contrasting cast types, kind of inspired by Netta's dog.
Yeah.
And or player types and how they vary by franchise. It would take a bit of research. Yeah, but I think it would be really good.
Oh, if we each give ourselves a franchise and then have like a shared doc that we break everything down into, I think we'd be able to make it work.
Yeah, I think we could as well. All right, love that. Okay, so thank you for all of those suggestions. If anybody else has any ideas, let us know, because we live, we laugh, we love. Let's talk about the All-Stars rumors. So we've got Civilian season coming up, and then apparently we're getting a Traitors US All-Stars. Before I tell you who the rumored names are, do you want to give like 5 names who you think would be lock-ins?
Siri.
Yep, she's on the list.
Phaedra.
Yep, she's on the list.
Puff.
On the list.
Okay. Dylan.
On the list. You're 4 for 4. All right,
Oh
one
God.
more.
Oh God. Are they from this season?
There are 2
one?
from this season. There are 2 from this season.
Oh, well, is one Rob?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I guess otherwise I would have guessed Gabby.
Gabby also on the list. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm pretty.
So I think it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. None of these names, well, one of these names shocked me, but the rest not really. So Siri, great pick, I think. I think put Siri on anything, she's going to be great.
Yeah.
Also from Siri's season 1, Salty Ari is rumored to come back. Yeah, that was the only eyebrow
do you know what?
raiser for me.
I got really confused because I was like, okay, Ari as in The Bachelor. For a split second in my mind, I got him confused for what's the name of the lady that Drop Your Buffs have that award named after?
Yeah.
I was like, her, yeah, good for her. Oh, okay, Ari. Well, I guess he did make a moment, so that's more than half these people could do. Again, going to the original point.
Yeah. Phaedra, I worry Phaedra won't be as great a second time round, I have to say.
No. I think she's like, oh,
Then we
can't be bothered.
have one of my faves that Pooya always gets mad about me liking them. Peter of Peter Party Pals.
Oh no,
I think
I like Peter.
this is good. Peter, obviously unbearable, but inventive strategist. I'm keen to see what Peter brings back. Parvati didn't give us a lot the first time round. So it was
No.
just a lot of pulling faces.
Yeah, I was gonna say she was giving face.
Yeah.
I think maybe what they want to also between the seasons, she's won a season of Survivor, so they probably are like she's got the juice. It's just maybe because I keep forgetting she was recruited.
Yeah,
Like
she
she
was.
was
But she
not
was
the
recruited right at the
initial.
beginning.
Yeah,
They got to choose. It was like,
yeah,
so
but I
it's
don't
not
think the
like she was
producers
there from the
necessarily
beginning.
were like, yeah, no, but I mean in
Okay.
terms of like. The producers weren't like, yeah, let's throw Parvati in and see how she goes. They were like, she was a recruit. So her circumstances of her experience were informed by Dan and Phaedra recruiting her. So yeah,
T.
it'd be different.
We've got Boston Rob. Yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Bob the Drag Queen. Yes, excellent
Mm-hmm.
choice. Love having Bob the Drag Queen back.
Yep.
Dylan Efron. Okay, he's just going to be making out with Boston Rob. Enjoy. Gabby. Love that. Great
Mm-hmm.
choice. Lisa Rinna from this season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I worry
Okay.
that she might come back and be more under the radar again. Maybe
I
I'm
think she
just
might do the
stressed about all the
inverse.
housewives doing that now. Okay, you think be more?
No. I think Lisa would be because Lisa clearly came to play, but because she was a traitor, she tried to be like a low key traitor, but that was the disconnect for the people there. They were like, this isn't very you, which she doesn't have to be some kind of way. But I think as if she was a faithful, oh, we're going to see her really try and investigate and all this sort of stuff. So that might be worth seeing
Yeah.
again.
All right. I'm excited to see her. And then we have Rob Rausch. And I can just see
Mm-hmm.
Boston Rob is not going to want another Rob there, A. And I think that
Mm-mm.
Rob has played such a masterful game this season. I think Rob is going to be an early target. I don't think he makes it past episode 2.
Yeah, I think Rob, Sari are early targets. I would say either Dylan or Rob would be just based off their relationship. Yeah, and the housewives, depending on how they act, they're also going to be targets. Somebody like Gabby will get far.
Yeah. But
And
anyway,
Parvati
I'm
probably.
excited. I think it could be good. I'm ready for an all-star season. I don't think it's too early.
No. It's never too. It's been 5 years at that point.
Okay, so let's get into the episode. So, breakfast. Maura and Rob are in first. She tells us she totally trusts Rob and tells him, if I just trust you, if I found out you were a traitor, I'd probably die. She's looking at the women, all right? She's looking at Natalie and Kristen, and then she's also looking at Johnny. Not a woman, but can we just talk about Maura for a second? I do not care for Maura. I said it.
No. I thought she was funny at the beginning, but she's basically Dorinda with a hat on. Like,
We,
she's not bringing anything.
no. You and I went back and forth about this, and we settled on Maura.
Mm.
Maura is a plank of wood in a wig with the Yassify filter. And, like,
Yeah.
what are we doing here? I'm sorry. She's delivering absolutely nothing. And when she does chime in, it's to be kind of mean.
Yeah, it's like nonsense, mean, and just like, or fawning over Rob. Like, it's not anything that's really contributing to anything. I just hate that basically, yeah, everything she says just is like nonsense. It's like, they've already banished 3 women as traitors and she's still harping on the other women. and Johnny for it's like why? What's the logic behind any of this? Why can't it be Rob? And then, if anybody gets loud, she gets loud too. Like, it's just, yeah, it's just a bit frustrating.
I find her to be quite condescending at the round table as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, we've also got our do nothing diva Eric, who is, as his
Mm.
name suggests, doing absolutely nothing. But he's not being mean. But I do feel,
Yeah.
I think
And also
what's also feeding into it.
he did something.
Yeah. We're getting to the
Sorry.
point now, and I think what's kind of feeding into this for me is we get to this part of the game, and there's always that one roadblock faithful who it's like, oh my God, the faithful, there could be a scenario where the faithful still have a chance, but there is this one giant plank of wood who's just like, I'm sorry, but absolutely nothing could make me vote this traitor out. So fuck the rest of you, we're losing. And there's always
Yeah.
one, and I'm always like, oh my God, we should have just banished them. But, where one
Yeah.
dies, another one rises. And she's just there. She's just there, patronizing people at the round table and totally blocking up a faithful win.
Yeah. Yeah. She doesn't want to win. She wants to just make the most of her 20 outfits that she brought in her suitcase.
And openly doesn't even care about the game. She's telling them, I have no idea what's going on.
No.
I don't even know why I'm here. I don't know what this game
You
is.
should,
I'm like,
I don't even want to do the missions. Like, okay, sure. Don't go on this show then.
literally. It's giving me, it's giving me flashbacks to someone on my season who kind of ruined my game, who didn't want to be there either and had no idea what was going on and was blindly loyal to a certain traitor. And I'm just like, fine, go home. Stop ruining it for the rest of us. Anyway, that is my rant
Yeah.
on Mora. I am done with Plank. So, meanwhile, Rob. It's actually starting to weigh on Rob. Again, we feel they start to around this stage, usually maybe a little bit earlier. Rob is feeling a bit guilty. The responsibility of being a traitor, it's weighing on him. And I think Rob really does not want to look Maura in the eyes and tell her I'm a traitor, Phil.
No. No. Because he's been lying to her the whole time.
Yeah. And I think that I think in the finale we will see him go out of his way to make sure he doesn't have to do that.
Yeah, Mora's getting banished at some point, definitely.
Yeah.
He has to.
So then Do Nothing Diva Eric comes in, and Off the Mark comes in as well. Mora's like, so what about Johnny? And Mark's like, okay, but Tara is a faithful. I'm absolutely sure of that. And Mark is going to reiterate this for the rest of the day. I think that this is marking him as a real hot murder target tonight, Phil.
Yeah.
It's very clear that Rob wants to line up Tara for next time. And the fact that Mark will not go there is one of about 3 reasons I think that he's the next person or the last person to be murdered.
Yeah. Oh, and it only makes sense. It was so funny because, okay, this isn't really spoilers for UK4, but I watched the final 3 episodes with my friends yesterday. And one of the things that kept coming up amongst those faithful was the idea of, like, why am I still here? Like, there's somebody protecting me. But the reality is, all these people that were sort of quote unquote asking themselves that question were people that had hate. So in their mind, it wasn't that somebody was protecting them, it was that they were protecting the traitors. And I think in this scenario, yeah, someone like Mark, he's not there because he's a useful ally to the traitors. He's a disruptive figure. So of course, yes, he needs to go. While someone like Taran's whatever is shield per se.
Mark has been very close strategically with Rob this whole game, but as Mark himself realizes, he's not Rob's number one. So I would say if you are still here
Yeah.
at this stage in the game, it is because that is of benefit to the traitors. And there are 3 reasons you could
Yeah.
be of benefit to the traitors. Number 1, there is a lot of heat on you and they think you might get banished before them. All right, so that's Tara, that's Johnny. Number 2, you have no idea what is going on. You couldn't clock a traitor if they came in wearing the cloak. Okay? Now, often that can
That's
be
Mora.
combined with one of the other 2. That is Mora. That is Mora. And then there's number 3, which is you are one of your closest people you are working with is a traitor, and you're not going to clock them as a traitor. And 2 and 3 often go together. So I think Mark is number 3, but he's not enough of number 2. So
No.
those are the 3 reasons. Think about that, because I think a lot of, I think we laughed in the UK because a lot of people think that they're number 3 when in actual fact, they're exclusively number 2 or number 1. And
yes, exactly.
You're an idiot. Really, you've got to be, you're not getting that far. Very rarely are you getting that far and you have everything clocked.
Yeah, because I guess using the UK as an example, it's like all of those are faithful, are so vocal, so expressive. They constantly get into conflicts. This group of American faithful, they don't do anything. They're quiet. They're silent. And that's the contrast, isn't it? It's that one group of people think that they think the reason why they're staying is because there's no heat on them and there's somebody keeping them around because they're close to them. No, it's because you're actually helping them by being crazy.
Yeah.
While these people are like doing nothing and they're like, oh, I must be. Yeah, it's interesting.
So Tara's got survivor's guilt today. She's like, I kind of wish I was dead. T. She keeps getting everything wrong. She's responsible for Stephen's banishment. And I do think that this mindset she's coming in here with today, where she no longer trusts her own judgment and she doesn't want to be responsible for another faithful going and people to point the finger at her and say, you, it's all your fault. I think that feeds into her already natural flakiness.
Yeah, it does.
So Johnny and Tara, they reveal what the murder mechanism was, which was that whole Jack-in-the-Box sitch, but we don't really see more, like it doesn't go full Sam Asghari here. We don't really see them quiz the others.
Yeah.
Kristen is dead. Kristen was Mark's number 1. Her death is rough on him. She's murdered for bringing up Eric and for being too faithful. I think you were the one who predicted Kristen.
I did.
Well done. I refused to believe we wouldn't have a lesbian going into the finale.
She was close. Well, at this point, Tara might as well be a lesbian with Johnny. Like,
T. I do think that this season has been rough on the girlies. Like, we had a really strong start with Candace and Lisa up in the turret. Like, Rob, you're just here. You're going to have to learn how to diva down or, like, go home. And ever since he successfully got out the housewives, we've just been obliterating the women. And there's no girly pop solidarity here at all.
No, but I think as soon as the week we decided that it was Rob's season, that's when the shift went from this is now what Rob needs to plan out, and it involves eliminating all the women.
Yeah, except for the one who simps for him.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, we see flashback to the tower. Rob, really fantastic strategically, playing a fantastic game. He's like, all right, next step, Eric. And I love Do Nothing Diva Eric. And I love that he's just like, tell me what to do, Rob. Like, I'll literally do anything you say except for talk at the round table. That's asking one thing too many of me. So Rob's like, all right, today is Operation Get Natalie Banished. That way we don't have to waste a murder on her. They are so well positioned going into this next episode, Phil. Like, there's plenty of sus on Tara and Johnny. Maura blindly loyal to Rob. Eric seems very loyal to Rob, never
Yeah.
pushes his own agenda. So I
Mhm.
think, like, Eric, fantastic recruitment choice from Rob.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm very impressed with Rob's game.
Oh, yeah, fully. Even the fact that even at this point, and I think I must have read it on Reddit or something, but even the fact that uh, Mark and Natalie, because obviously at a certain point, Mark sort of realizes that Rob isn't necessarily all in with him. The fact that Mark even by default doesn't go to someone like Natalie, who has been basically solo for the longest time, and decide to really try that together, says so much about how Rob has disrupted and brought people in and then disrupted it as he's gone along. Um, yeah, it's been really good. That's why I feel like Kristen was such a good, because that was a solid for someone like Mark.
Yeah. I liked Natalie's outfit today. Apparently, Boston Rob on the official Traitors podcast suggested she was dressed as a lipstick.
Oh, is that the skirt?
She was wearing this kind of red leather dress.
Yeah, I guess so. She looked great,
She looked amazing.
especially because
and
it was cut like
Yeah.
this, so it was just arms.
like more Natalie muscles. There was some
Yeah.
misogynists on Reddit suggesting that, you know, or maybe it was Facebook, being like, oh, why is Natalie always showing off her muscles? I'm like, stop. More Natalie muscles.
Yeah, yeah, she should just walk in as an arm.
Yeah. Let the ladies for ladies live. All right, so post-breakfast, this is where things start to get super juicy. We have an absolutely thrilling conversation between Tara, and Natalie. They have been at each other ever since the Black Banquet, where Natalie snatched the antidote from Tara.
Mhm.
Natalie then goes on to vote for Tara at the Candace banishment. But Tara pulls Natalie into a room and calls a truce. She says, Natalie, I believe you are a faithful. I think Rob is a traitor. And that all clicks into place for Natalie. She's like, yes, I've been asking myself, why am I still here? And Natalie takes charge of pushing Rob today. What did you think about this conversation?
I was excited. I was like, oh, finally, a drop, a drop, Rob mention. I felt like, yeah, those fans, when you watch a show and they make a reference to something, it was like this. I was like, whoa, this is like revolutionary. Oh, the Rob fans, they feel seen.
Finally! I think this whole thing goes wrong for 4 key reasons
Yeah.
today.
Mhm.
So, number 1, I'm branding Tara. If Maura is a plank, Tara is a croissant. She is flaky and buttery as hell. She
Mhm.
keeps second guessing herself because she's been wrong so many times. And I think that trust with Natalie is still quite fragile. It was
Mhm.
only 24 hours ago she thought that Natalie was a traitor, and she's completely lost faith in her own reads. So that's reason number 1. Reason number 2, Johnny. Johnny, not locked in at all. He's anti-gamer. He never wanted them in his original alliance. He's sus on Natalie, potentially still holding a grudge for everything Natalie has done to his bestie Tara. And Tara does not go to lock in Johnny early, right? And she never does it one-on-one with him early in the piece. He has so much time to get poisoned by Rob against Natalie, who's doing a 2-pronged attack with Eric to spread Natalie's name, feeding Johnny's already anti-Natalie confirmation bias. So I think that's number 2. Number 3, they choose to go to Maura first, rather than trying to lock in Mark. what the fuck was this, Philly?
Oh, when they went to Moore, I was like, well, what? This is wasting time, isn't it? You only have
Why?
so many hours in the day and you're wasting it on Mora, the plank of
Yeah.
wood. Like, the plank of wood that Rob is holding, like, he's like walking around, like, holding this plank of
Yeah.
wood around. Like, oh, as soon as they went to Mora, I already knew this was a flop plan. Like, it wasn't going to happen.
They should have gone straight. This is what should have happened. They have that conversation. They should have split up.
Yep.
Tara should have gone to Johnny
Yep.
and pitched it to him to
Yep.
try and lock him in there.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Natalie should have gone to Mark.
Yep.
Because they only needed 4, Phil.
Yeah.
Even though they keep insisting they needed 5 because of the
Yep.
dagger, actually, if they had forced a tie between Natalie and Rob, Rob and Natalie do not vote on the revote.
Yeah.
He does not have the dagger.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they can get rid of Rob there.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that and I feel like even to add an extra step or maybe have shift a step in your plan, Tara, with her initial gut suspicions, should have gone to Johnny first and vibe checked in before she'd gone to Natalie, and then they should split or whatever. Because I think the concept of her talking to Natalie first and then going to Johnny, I think, sort of created this weird thing where then Johnny's like, yeah, but she's saying all this stuff to you. Like, it wasn't collaborative in that sense. So then all of a sudden, when it comes to the round table, Natalie's like, oh, well, you said blah, 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 blah. And Tara folded. It's because she all of a sudden felt like her thoughts were not hers, and like, she should have gotten multiple steps of confirmation.
I agree. I think that's a really good call. I also think that Tara thought, oh, I'll float his name, but we're not actually going to go for him today. And started to feel like things got out of control when Natalie started pushing for Rob. But the reality is, like, she was scared of the dagger and had it in her head they had to have 5 votes, which they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And no one pointed out otherwise.
Yeah.
So bad on Mark and Natalie for that as well, who should have known better. They do not have the votes next round, right? Like, they are going to end up banishing another faithful here, Natalie, and then he's murdering somebody else who, like, you are not, this was your last chance.
Yeah. Yeah, because, like, not to go straight into predictions, but it's like, Mark, Johnny, Tara, final 3 with the 2, get rid of Eric, Rob wins. Like, they should, not that they know that that's the sort of. Also, where does Eric really fit into all of this?
Eric is just there.
Like, he doesn't, it's all of a sudden he lost all sense of existence. And he just went.
Do nothing diva Eric. And even there, like, if he's not been, I think they say in the second car ride, the back from the mission, Natalie, Tara, and Johnny are like, oh, we could bring in Eric if he's not the one who's recruited. Like, I think people think it's probably Eric is a traitor at this stage as well.
Yeah, true.
So maybe they, could have gone for him. Anyway, while Natalie and Tara are having this conversation, Mark and Rob go off. And Rob is having to reassure Mark that he is faithful. No, Mark, you need to be marinating Rob here. Mark floats Eric's name, which Rob immediately shuts down and redirects to Natalie. I do think, so reason number 1, I think Mark is most likely to get murdered, will not buy that Tara is a traitor. Number 2, he won't let go of Eric's name. And I think Rob wants to go to the end with Eric.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
So Rob's redirecting for Natalie. His evidence is she didn't vote for Candace. She voted for Tara. And Mark's like, oh, yes. And she's a gamer. Like, later on, Eric and Johnny join this conversation as well. And Eric is independently bringing up Natalie's name, which I think, again, helps the ball get rolling. It's bad, bad, bad that both Mark and Johnny are there listening and reiterating, yes, Natalie, while Tara and Natalie go on this completely fruitless mission with Plank.
Yeah, literally. Because do you know what sort of semi frustrates me about all of this? I know we kind of touched upon it last week, and obviously it comes up again this week, but I just don't understand how, for example, so a strong emphasis on gamers and housewives, but not on Tara and Johnny, and not on Maura and Rob. Like, there is just these weird relationship duos or groupings that my brain can't process why for some of them it matters and so for some of them it doesn't matter, or the fact that you're on a show matters, but then for these people it doesn't matter. Like, why?
But just play the game. Just play the game.
Yeah.
Let's try. Let's
It's like
try,
Maura's
people.
been picked up and simping for Rob this whole time. What in your minds, even if you just went from what we've seen on screen, I would be like, well, clearly he likes her enough. I saw him pick her up
Yeah.
in a mission instead of Dorinda or whatever Alan said.
I mean, maybe they just aren't reading how close those two are. Like, there must be
Yeah.
a reason that Tara and Natalie thought to go to Maura before going to Mark. Maybe Mark is visible, like, given how little time they have together and how rushed everything is, maybe to somebody who's not in that core, Mark is on the surface
With
closer with
him.
Rob. And it's
Yeah.
only once you're in that core that it's obvious. Like, Mark knows Rob is closer with Maura than with him. But, like, this is me
Yeah.
trying to be generous here. Maybe
No,
that's
no, no. Yeah.
not obvious to Tara and Natalie. I don't know.
No, what you're saying is because basically the Johnny Tara grouping and Natalie by herself, I guess, have always been on the outs of that. We're only seeing the sort of alliance breakdown now that Rob's really showing his cards. But yeah, what you would say makes more sense. It's easy to assume that Maura would be in with him, but whether or not that she's the person that Rob wants to bring to the end, they wouldn't know, because they also don't know if he's a traitor or not.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about this conversation they have with Plank. I thought, like, this conversation does not go well, but I actually thought, to begin with, before we see, oh, no, 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 I thought they did quite a good job with this conversation. Tara and Natalie don't push Rob too hard. They just sort of lightly suggest it, try and get Maura to come to that conclusion herself, but she doesn't. I mean, it's clear she clocks what they're trying to do here because she immediately goes and dobs them into Rob. But I actually thought that they did the best that they could here with what was a bad decision to talk to her in the first place.
Yeah, like they could only do so much without coming across too hard, which I guess especially for those two having run into the conflict scenarios, I guess that those two keep running into, they probably had realized, like, especially with Maura, who is also willing to fight, probably is the right strategy to just sort of take it a little bit. Like, and this is with any sort of show, it's like, it's better to get a person to reach a conclusion and make it seem like it's their decision or their plan than trying to strong arm them into a decision.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought they were reasonably delicate. But no, does not work. The plank is still planking. Before we head to the mission, I wanted us to do an early Philly 5 because there was a moment here that stood out to you. So let's cue the Philly 5 music.
Philly 5. Philly 5. Ah. So,
Welcome to Philly 5. Philly, your 5 minutes starts now.
So, ironically, after weeks upon weeks of us saying we need more Fergus, we need Alan's character to be more refined, we did get Fergus standing at the gate opening an Amazon, like blatantly Amazon package. Okay. What is this? What does this have to do with anything? Like, this is even worse. This is Alan's is random in this castle wearing random outfits. Fergus is opening Amazon boxes. this, you know what? This further reinforces why I feel like they've lost the plot in regards to what the show is thematically. Like, what does this have to do with anything?
There is no, the world building is a flop. They have
Yeah.
not built a world for us in which the Traitors USA is happening. There is no narrative consistency in who Alan is in this world and who Fergus is and, what they're about. They had this in the first couple of seasons. It's completely fallen apart. Why is Fergus receiving an Amazon Prime package? What is in this package? What is, does Fergus receive the, like, if he had opened the package and, like, pulled out something crazy for Alan, like maybe Alan's next insane outfit, okay, that's building on the
Yeah.
narrative. But this world has giant gaps in it.
Yeah, like, because like I said, I just watched UK, the final week of UK 4. The reason why the UK comes across so well is that, like, Claudia doesn't necessarily say, I'm the lady of the manor, but she's like, we're here and we're playing my game and I'm here to facilitate it. There's no extra characters. I'm just Claudia and I'm telling you what's happening next. And then she walks off and they're like, oh my God, Claudia said this. In this universe, it's like, and then there's Fergus opening a Amazon box, and Lala's just like, here's a cutaway shot to Lala. Okay, but what is Lala doing here? Does she live here? Does she have autonomy here?
Let's juxtapose this against the UK, where Claudia refers to the creepy gimps as her children. And they're, like, clearly kind of her slaves that carry her around. And that's the purpose. And we get that, and it makes sense within this world. Then we have Kareen, who has the scary mountain cat. And that makes sense because Kareen is this, creepy vampiress, almost satanic figure. Of course, she has this monstrous, terrifying cat. What is Alan? What is Fergus? What is the Amazon package? Like, I don't know who he's supposed to be or who any of these people are. And I will buy anything. I will buy anything.
Yeah, like, it's really jarring because it's because then you have these reality stars playing a game. Like, it's not and they're so serious about it all. Like, it's not cohesive. It's like, then you have Laura wearing wigs and hats. Like, why? What are they doing? I don't understand. Let's watch next week. Let's see if there's a whole moment.
We go into the mission. And we have another massive fuck up here from Natalie and Tara. I listened to Puya and Rob cover this, and I was glad Rob raised what a nightmare the car choices were here. So Natalie and Tara, you choose who you get in a car with. We've discussed this before. That's really important because this is a large amount of time you get to spend together. It's where a lot of the strategic decisions are made. And Natalie and Tara choose to be in a car together with only Johnny. So that means in the other car, we have Rob, Eric, Mark, and Plank. Disastrous. Because this is the first time that Tara is sharing her Rob theory with Johnny. And it makes it look like it's more Natalie's idea purely because of their difference in personalities. Natalie being a strong, assertive woman and Tara being a literal human croissant. So they choose to waste, I would say, this huge chunk of strategic time, and they don't even lock in Johnny, Phil.
Yeah. Bad. Because, yeah, when I was watching how the cars were, I was like, so why are you guys all still together? This doesn't make any sense either. and for a duo that's meant to be so close, how come, why, yeah, exactly like you said, like, why are you wasting this time on this? This should have been happening before. This is when what
Natalie,
your original timeline should have made more sense. No, cut out the Plank conversation, replace that with a Mark conversation or a Johnny conversation. Now you're in the car. There's the people who have already discussed, and they're all together. Now 4 people sharing this information, and then what they need to do. Because the best thing about this is that, like,
exactly.
we are talking about, in this scenario, 4 faithfuls. So they
Yes.
can do this. They can do it. As in, I mean, succeed.
Exactly.
They can do it, and they just didn't.
If they had had the cursory conversation and said, let's the 4 of us get in a car, lock this in, we're talking about a completely different outcome here. Conversely, Mark has not been spoken to at all until post-mission, where there is very little time. And he's had all of his pre-car morning chat, Natalie. We now get into the car. Plank reveals, oh, and by the way, Tara and Natalie are trying to make me vote for Rob. How fucked up is that? And that just continues to solidify Natalie. Just disaster.
Yeah.
Disaster.
They shouldn't have let Plank go.
They don't even get Johnny here. No.
Yeah.
Well, or let Plank go. Like, Plank should not be part of the equation. She's a yesified Plank.
No. But I mean, in this scenario, like, Plank should be in the car with them then. If they're trying to solidify numbers, bring Plank with you. Plank and Johnny, done. Then they can all visualize a 4.
Natalie, cling to Rob. That way, at least they can't talk about you. Anyway, so we get to the carnival mission. So we saw this one in the UK as well. It's basically musical chairs where you spin around a bunch and then go find money and stuffies. Eric and Tara can't go on the spinny thing. I assume they have some kind of concussion injury. So they aren't on the spinny, but they've got these dummies of themselves they've got to strap in and out. This mission is a mission. I thought there were really a couple of key points here. So, number 1, Rob is the first person out of musical chairs, and he throws a tantrum. And a lot of that hostile energy is directed at Mark. Natalie, her confirmation bias says, oh, look, he's overacting. For Mark, it solidifies his insecurity that with Kristen gone, he doesn't have a number 1 and that Rob would choose Maura over him. Now, again, if Natalie had already spoken to Mark at this point in the day, this could have been added to the confirmation bias fodder for Mark. But instead, it probably makes Mark cling to Rob even more as he's trying to cling to the only number that he feels he has at this stage, that he feels he's starting to lose a grip.
It's just so funny. It's like, for that to be such a dramatic, like, moment and for it not to have any fruit is, like, crazy.
And I'm being critical because there were so many moments. You know, I watched it the first time round and I'm like, I never really believed that we were going to get Rob because Tara was being so flaky, because Johnny was giving us nothing. And so when I'm rewatching it, I'm seeing all of these moments where I'm like, oh, it could have happened here. It could have happened here, but because you made these minor wrong decisions at the start, it just snowballs into something you can't come back from. You know, like Natalie tries helping Maura in this mission to try and win some good favor. But again, stop wasting energy on a plank of wood. Let go of Maura.
Literally, if you had to, you're literally having to help her undo a red string that's on an already opened stuffed toy. She's not going to help you. She's not helping. She can barely do that.
If all of this, everything we gave more, like, we have Mark floundering, desperate for a number 1 here, desperate for a feeling that someone's got his back in the game. Maura doesn't need that. She has Rob. Imagine if all this energy that Natalie had put into Plank had gone to Mark instead. That is just
Yeah.
what I kept feeling. So
Yeah.
Eric ends up winning the shield in the mission, and we're in the same cars back. In the Rob car, it's Natalie was recruited, she's changed, she's not talking to me as much. Meanwhile, Natalie's like, oh my God, did you see Rob overacting there? And the faithful are like, okay, so this is Johnny, Tara, and Natalie. We need numbers. The three of us are not enough. Correct. We don't have Plank. We need Eric, if Eric is a faithful, and we need Mark. And we're already starting to see here that Tara's got cold feet. You know, she's like, I told Natalie in confidence, but now she's running with it. I don't even know. And it's like, you won't have the numbers tomorrow. You might not have the numbers tonight, but you definitely can't have them tomorrow. And if you just get one more, the dagger's out of play on the revote. But they don't seem to realize that either.
But also, yeah, like adding to your point, it's like, so Tara, why did you give Natalie this information if it wasn't going to be something to action in the immediate future? You got to tell her your suspicions so when you're both eliminated that you can both say you both knew. Like, what was the point?
I don't know. I
It
don't
doesn't
know.
make any sense.
I don't think the croissant thinks too deeply about it, to be honest. No. So post-mission, we get this delightfully awkward interaction between Natalie and Rob over lunch. Rob flags here to Natalie. He's like, oh, yeah, the murder's probably between Mark and I tonight because we're clearly the two most faithful, which I think is further evidence that Mark's probably going to end up murdered tonight. Meanwhile, Tara and Natalie, primarily Natalie, try to bring in Mark. Mark's like, look, I can see it, but we need the numbers. I'm not doing this without the numbers. And again, no one points out that with the four of them, they would have the numbers. They don't need Eric. But meanwhile, sneaky Johnny, who is not locked in, runs off to Eric, tips him off and says, Natalie, oh my God, she's pushing Rob. It's giving desperate. Can you believe it? Johnny is more locked in on the Rob side. There's just not enough trust there between Natalie, Johnny, and Tara to make this work. There was a weird moment I want to talk about. So in the bar, there's a chat between Rob and Maura, Phil. I want to know what you think about this.
Yep.
I don't know. It stuck out to me both times I watched it. Rob tells Plank, we're going to go Natalie tonight. And then tomorrow, we're going to get out Tara and Johnny. And we see Maura, after he walks away, do this kind of long, thoughtful stare that's sort of suggesting that perhaps Maura could have found that level of forethought strange. But I'm like, also, she's a yassified plank of wood, so I don't think she would. Did this moment stand out to you at all?
Like, I guess it came across to me as like but we always have these moments with her where it's like she'll say something that's quite observant or astute, and then at the round table she will completely go against it and completely simp for Rob or whatever. And the thing is, while we keep getting fed these nuggets of it could be him, she could be entertaining it, all of the results show that she is not going to do that. And I don't know why the show keeps making us think that something's going to happen. Because I think we all are aware, like, if the end game is Rob winning, it has to be with Maura. That is just how it's going to be. We've been shown so much of it. Oh, I'll be so upset if you look at me and go, like, yeah, you will be. Red herring.
We've seen crazy things happen plenty of times where a faithful flips in the last minute. But I agree. I think this is a red herring. I think it's supposed to give us false hope that something crazy could happen in the finale. But I don't. I think that was a blank stare, not a thoughtful stare. I'm so mean. I'm being toxic today, but like, I'm just done with some of these faithful, you know?
Oh, to be fair, I was the one who sent you the message saying, I'm over Mora.
Yeah. But I was thinking it
So
as well.
I
I was like,
started this.
am I...
Yeah.
I was like, can I go hard on Mora this podcast, or is that unreasonable of me? But I just,
She's
again, what are you doing?
getting invited to events and stuff. She's getting what she wants out of this experience. It doesn't matter if we're critical of her strategic regimen, whatever. Like, she's getting what she wants out of this experience, and she's fine.
You're right. She couldn't give less fucks about what some queer podcast says about her trader strategy.
Yeah.
She's not a pet hat. Let's put it that way.
No.
So,
No.
speaking of disasters, Johnny and Tara are having a chat in the kitchen and convince themselves that the votes aren't there and maybe Natalie's a traitor after all. They also think that they have to vote together because that makes them less murderable, but actually makes them more murderable. But anyway,
Okay.
it just goes to show Johnny and Tara, bless them, love their love, no idea what is going on. So we're going into the round table, and this is where we stand. We've got flaky croissant Tara and her petty bestie Johnny. We've got do-nothing diva Eric, who we can count on to do absolutely nothing. In the dark Mark, who, again, not entirely certain. He's not been looped in. Can't really blame him. We've got the plank and got it on lock Rob. Did you think there was any chance here it was going to be anyone other than Natalie?
No. Because
No.
as soon as the Mora thing happened, which was at the beginning of the episode, I was like, this isn't too much. Tara doubt, Mora wrong, Mark's priorities were different. Like, it was just like, wasn't. Johnny was doing whatever. Like, they were not on the same page.
And that is where we go into our vibes only roundtable reenactment. Bow, bow, bow.
No, 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 no.
Welcome to the Vibes Only Roundtable Reenactment. Tara opens. Tonight, I will be harnessing Do-Nothing Diva Eric, and just want my allies to know I will be giving them absolutely no support. Ma. Well, who does have the balls to say something? Rob. Me. I got huge balls. And Nellie, I'm suspicious of you. You've changed. Well, I think you have changed. You killed the gamers. Mark. Yes, brilliant. Genius. Plank. Yes. Bitch, you make no sense. Natalie. You need people who support and trust you. That's how you make it to the end. I ask myself, why am I still here? You all hate me except for Rob, so... Candace was smart, and it was weird she voted for you, Rob. Plank. It was a throw-away vote. Mark. I mean, it could have been a strategy play. Rob yelling, anyone want me to defend myself? The Candace thing was fucking weird. It was half-assed. Throw-away vote. Throw-away vote. Now, even Tara said it could be a breadcrumb. Tara, I plead the fifth on that one. Natalie, oh, fuck you, Tara. You have run your mouth about Rob all day, and now you give us this shit. I am done with you. We are all done with you. You took advantage of our hopes it might not just be an easy endgame run for Rob, and here we are watching another disaster round table. We liked you better when you did nothing. Rob, oh, you're so smart, Nellie. So manipulative to have a plan. Plank, don't talk shit about my man! And we get to the votes, where everybody votes for Natalie, except for Natalie, who votes Tara. Rob, once again, absolutely 0 votes, uses his dagger. Natalie, absolutely seething. I love it when she goes, "Don't fucking say sorry, Johnny. I don't want to hear it." So iconic. Love Mad Natalie. She ends with, "Today, a game got played, so good job, guys." It was a crazy round table, Phil.
Yeah. I think that the throwaway vote is what, when I sent you, like, I'm over Mora. Can we, Diva, Candace was a traitor. Why would she be doing throwaway votes?
Literally. And you will note Eric still silent there because he did nothing. The only person who didn't say a word.
He's not even there. I always
He's
forget he's
literally
even
not
a
even there.
contestant. I thought he got banished like 3 episodes
Yeah.
ago.
Complete hot mess. Like, fight between Tara and Natalie. This was such a bad look for Tara. Such
Yeah.
a bad look for Tara.
Flaky.
And she's just at the end crying, begging to be murdered while Mark and Johnny comfort her. And it's like, girl, you ain't going anywhere. You are the perfect next banishment.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Like, you did the most, and now you're going to get the most. You're there for ages. Well, there's not that much longer, but yeah.
So, post round table, Plank, she's looking at Tara. Rob and Mark lie down on the pool table, and Mark he will not let go of Eric's name. He won't buy that Tara is a traitor. This is his death sentence, I believe.
Yeah.
Johnny, meanwhile, is like, yep, the traitors are Eric and Rob, but it's too late anyway. They don't have the numbers because Plank won't believe that it's Eric, let alone Rob. And because Eric and I think this is really critical, Eric and Rob are loyal to each other. Because that is a voting block of 2 and they've got Mora, they're done for.
Yeah.
There's 5 going into next episode. And that's 3 out of 5, okay? Basic.
Like, because who does what does Johnny want to do?
Well, Johnny's so like, ooh, professional gamers. I'm like, well, honestly, honey, it wouldn't hurt you to have a concept of basic gameplay at this point, you know?
Yeah. Like, what's your game? What, get to the end with Rob, Mora, Tara, like, what are you trying to do? Take 5 people to the end? Like, what?
Well, he doesn't have a game plan because that would be disgusting and suspicious. Traitorous, even.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So we're up in the turret.
Yeah.
This
Throw
is our
a vote.
last... Yeah, throw away vote. Throw away vote. We're up in the turret. We've got one more murder. And Rob's like, okay, Eric, great work on getting the shield. But babes, you can't just say absolutely nothing at the round table. Like, I am working overtime to try and stop you from getting banished. And what are you doing for yourself, sweets? You didn't speak up in my defense. You didn't speak at all. And Eric's like, sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, tonight,
okay.
they've got to...
Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Okay, sorry. This will probably be the last we speak of Eric because he didn't do anything anyway. But I think it's just like keeps resurfacing this past week. There's like the clip of him being interviewed by Tara and Johnny at the last Winter Olympics.
Oh!
Have you seen it? Like, it's a full segment,
No.
and he's like just explaining to them K-pop and blah blah blah. This is why the Tara and Johnny thing is insane. That only came up last episode. He literally knows they work together, and he said
Everyone
nothing.
knows they work together. Nothing. He knows. I think everyone knew they worked together. I just don't think anybody knew. I mean, I don't know. Are you ride or dies with any of your colleagues? I'm not.
Yeah, but they're like they're professional colleagues in multiple fields.
Yeah, yeah, it's he.
Anyway, sorry, that was just playing in my mind when we were talking about Eric.
So I think that tonight's murder is going to take a bit of an emotional toll on them. We're already seeing that Rob is starting to really feel it. And Alan comes in and tells them, after you make this decision, everyone is going to go outside and I am going to tell the person who's being murdered in front of everyone that they're dead. I think this is going to be very hard for Rob and Eric, particularly Rob, who's going to single-handedly make the decision. And if people were smart, they would be looking for reactions, but they're not. So it'll probably have no consequence. They kind of go through the list. We're like, all right, Mark, he's looking at Eric. There's no sus on him. He's never getting banished. Tara, she's a great distraction. We're not murdering her. Johnny, we could split up the skater votes, but then who knows what Tara will do, and it might make Tara look less sus. So we're not murdering Johnny. And then Maura is very, very loyal to us. It could make Rob seem more loyal, as no one would believe he'd murder Maura. Also, I assume he doesn't want to tell her to her face he's a traitor. I don't buy them murdering Maura. I think it's an absolute certainty that Mark is the person getting murdered here.
Yeah, fully.
All right. Before we go to predictions, we've got Babe's Dictionary and Crush Pyramid. So let's do Babe's Dictionary. Ooh, Babe's Dictionary. Babe's Dictionary. Babe's Dictionary. This is an educational podcast, and here in Babe's Dictionary, we let our pet hets know about an important word in the queer lexicon so that they understand what they're talking about. Now, there wasn't really any words that leapt out to me from the episode this week, Philly, but I thought there was a term that is important to babes and came up in my personal life this week when I was out for dinner with my dad, a pet het of the pod, and Dad said, "But Annabel, if Philly only likes men, how can they be non-binary?" And it was then I learned that my dad thought non-binary meant bisexual who hates pronouns. I didn't think non-binary was a term that needed explaining, but I also thought that about hag, twink, and every other word we've since found out really did need explaining. So,
Yeah.
Philly, why don't you educate our audience on what is non-binary?
Well, I guess simple terms, non-binary is somebody who doesn't live in the binary of gender norms. So not male, female, whatever. So yes, so like that's why terms like they, them are non-gendered. And that is like a preferred pronoun because it doesn't infer either. And obviously within that spectrum, like people can have their own self-expression and what that means to them and all that sort of thing. But it has zero bearing on sexuality. I don't think it does. It's about gender.
So the binary is not straight and gay?
Yeah.
There can
No.
only be one!
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, unfortunately for everybody, fun fact, the binary is not straight and gay. There's actually things in between that too.
Incredible. All right, so there you go. Non-binary, not existing within the binary of male and female.
Yeah, like don't get confused, guys. Me and Annabelle are two separate people. We're not the same.
It's true. It's true. I was like, Dad, that kind of makes sense until you, like, non-binary, all right, bisexual, whatever. Until you get to the pronouns bit, I'm like, I don't know where you made that leap, but bless him, he's trying.
No, love it. Thank you. Oh, your dad would have been so confused when, if he watched Canada 3, would have been like, there's a non-binary person, but in a secret relationship with a lesbian.
It would have taken us a long time to explain, I think. All right, perfect. So there you go. Another educational segment for you all. Let's move on to listener favorite segment, Crush Pyramid. Ooh, crush pyramid, crush pyramid, crush pyramid.
Sorry, I'm laughing because I'm just laughing at again Canada, when they would be like, there's like people and non-binaries here. If you just replace non-binary with bisexual, it's like we've got women, we've got men, and some bisexuals.
Yeah.
Just special call out for them. Anyway,
And
yes.
Shout out to our bisexual divas.
Anyway, yes, Crush Pyramid.
We love. All right, who's on your crush pyramid this week?
Okay. I think mine is going to be pretty straightforward. So I think on the bottom of my crush pyramid, I'll just put Rob first, just because he's still hot. Do you know what I realized? I was looking at photos of him on Love Island versus him presently, I guess, on the Traitors, and I think maybe it's the Scottish lack of sun, but him sort of slowly over time losing his tan. Like he's like fake, well, don't want to say it's fake necessarily, but I feel like on his promo shots for Love Island, they've really bumped up the tans. So he looks very tan, like unnaturally tan. And I feel like that sort of warped my perception of him. And I think under a month under the Scottish sun that doesn't exist, I think he's washed off the tan. And he looks like
has come off.
Yeah, the fake tan has come off, and he looks kind of a bit natural, and he's sort of looking better, I guess I'd say. Also on my bottom, also on the bottom of my crush pyramid, I'll put Mark, because I did put him on a few weeks ago, but he sort of disappeared and got lost amongst the Kristen and Stephen of it all. But now he's back. Now he's still really cute. I feel like he definitely has at least a personality that endears us to him. Like he's a cute guy. Like he's really cute. But obviously I have to do it in honor of our famous segment Natalie Watch, which basically ends today. We didn't make it a thing for this season, but we'd always done a Natalie Watch, because we didn't not go an episode without mentioning her arms or how hot she looked. But Natalie is on the top of my crush pyramid, especially in that dress. And when she's at the end, she's like, it's like
She was everything. Ooh, it's Natalie Watch.
Natalie Watch.
It's come to an end. Okay, love that. Spoiler warning, my crush pyramid exactly the same.
Oh, there you go.
So in the base, I've got Mark. Mark had so much potential. It was clear Mark was one of the better game players who knew what was going on here. He's getting murdered tonight, and it's an absolute shame, because I truly believe that if Natalie had gone to Mark and the moment she went to Maura, this episode could have turned out very, very differently. And it could have been a very different endgame for Mark. So I don't think it's any fault of his own, really, that we're going to lose him here. Yes, he wouldn't do whatever he hasn't clocked Rob properly, because if he had, he would just agree with anything Rob said, regardless of whether he truly believed it or not. But I think Mark, we didn't get enough Mark confessionals and content to know strategically where his mind was at, but I know in my core that it was good.
Yeah.
I am begrudgingly putting Rob on my crush pyramid, because I think as a woman, I try to avoid the Rob types in my life. You know, I'm like, Annabel, not again. But it really resonated with me when you said the other week, Rob is a guy who looks really hot in motion.
Yeah.
You know, like he looks much better when he's moving than in, say, just a solo photo. And like the reality is, Rob, very, very, very sexy, but also just playing such a fucking good game.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that for him. I don't love that for me, because I'm rooting for the gays and the girlies and the faithful. But, like, credit where credit's due, he has absolutely slayed this. And of course, up the top, Natalie is at her best when she's swinging, and just watching her come for Rob with everything she had, and then watching her call out the croissant and say, fuck you. You don't get to flake out on me. And fuck you, Johnny. No fake apology from your fake ass.
Yep.
I just loved her. I'm going to miss Natalie Watch next week.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, great crush pyramid. We're very aligned there.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's move into predictions, all right? Predictions.
What's gonna happen
I think we have slightly... I think we've got slightly different predictions for how it's going to go down in the finale, Philly. So
Yep.
maybe start with yours.
Okay, so my predictions. Mark, murder, maybe Tara first, at the round table, then Johnny at the fire, then Eric at the fire, then Rob wins.
Okay. Ours are fairly similar then. So
Okay.
I think Mark, he's got to be getting murdered. Massive misplay if not. I then think Mora's looking at Tara, and Rob is angling for Tara as well. Eric and Rob very much on the same page. My concern is that Rob and Eric don't get enough time in this turret to really map out their strategy, because they need to be 100% aligned going into this. So I think Tara is an easy out here. She's not going to reveal if she's a traitor or a faithful. We're then going to the final fire. I think it's going to be fairly easy for Eric, Maura, and Rob to be aligned on getting rid of Johnny next.
Mhm.
He's very on the outs.
Yep.
So we're then down to the three, which is Eric, Rob, and Maura. I think, Philly, that Rob sincerely wants to end the game with Eric.
Mhm.
I think on top of that, he really doesn't want to end up betraying everyone.
Yes.
I think in his heart, he doesn't want to backstab Eric, who's clearly completely loyal to him, and also backstab Maura.
Yep.
Kind of what without giving spoilers, we've seen this scenario before, and when someone is in this position, they want to end the game feeling like they at least have one friend.
Yep.
And while maybe a couple of episodes ago, I would have said Rob is ruthless enough and has that dog in him to end the game alone, I think because Eric is such a wet blanket who, like, Rob cannot lie to himself and say, oh, maybe Eric's coming for me. Like, it would be kicking a puppy. It would be kicking
Yep.
two puppies. And I
Yep.
don't think he actually does have that dog in him. So I think that Maura is devastated as they vote again. She votes for Eric. Eric and Rob both vote for Maura. But that is better in Rob's mind than having to tell her he's a traitor. And I think we get our second ever English-speaking version double traitor win. That is my prediction.
Do you think if they went to 3 and then they all voted to end the game, do you think the Eric and Rob default win as well as a duo?
Yeah, if they end the game at 3, yes. But I
Okay.
don't think they will, because I don't think Rob wants to tell Maura to her face he's a traitor. I think he wants to chicken out and have the producers do that for him.
Okay. Fair. I think, okay, I didn't... Do you know what? I probably should consider the bulk group win after last season.
Yeah, I don't know. It could go either way. Like, we know Rob's winning. It's just,
Yep.
does Rob win alone or does Rob win with Eric? That's the only question going into this last episode.
The thing is, because Johnny and Tara have to go, it's not like they're going to get to 4 and then end the game like they did last season. Like, they're going to be like, well, we have to get rid of one of them. Both of them, I mean. And then, yeah. Okay, I never thought about the duo win. I just feel like that this is the thing about the US one. It's like, okay, for example, last season we had 4 people win, but only 2 people really got content, and the other 2 were just there. They were coming for each other for no reason. Like, it was just weird. I guess this show doesn't necessarily want, like, they don't necessarily care about editing their winners to be anything. So
No,
I probably should have considered that.
I consistently forget who won last season.
Yeah. Is
I
her name
couldn't tell. I mean,
Dolores?
yeah,
Dolores
Dolores.
and Jane's favorite Ivor.
Was oh, there you go. In my mind, it was Dolores and Sandoval. I forgot that it was.
Yeah,
I forgot that it was Ivar.
yeah.
Um. Anyway, so we've got the finale and the reunion coming. We will be a little bit late getting that up because I am away from Friday to Sunday. So I don't know when we're going to get a chance to record, but I will make
We
the
can do
commitment
Monday.
that we will do it within a week of the finale coming out. What have you got anything else on at the moment, Philly? / where can people find you?
You can follow me on Instagram at ChiliPhilly. I still keep entertaining the thought of doing some sort of shorter like even just Crush Pyramid for Australian Survivor.
Oh yeah,
Like something just real brief and really silly, and we can just talk about what our favorite people on it. I don't know. Obviously,
we could even do it as
potentially
an Instagram reel. We could do it as an Instagram reel.
true. Do you know what, Annabelle? That's the best idea. So thank you. I like that idea. Yeah, we can do a real quick, brief Crush Pyramid of Australian Survivor. But other than that, I've got nothing else on. What about you?
You can find me Instagram annabelce. Please follow us on Instagram at Babes in the Conclave, where you can see our Crush Pyramid for
And we need
Australian
to
Survivor.
change our thing this week.
Oh yes, the cloaks have arrived. I've got them. We can change our photo at some point. We will catch up and get those pickies. And yeah, please leave us a rating and review. We did earlier in the year have an influx of homophobes who left us some negative reviews in the US. So if you could help us combat those, that would be amazing. We read all of the comments in YouTube, and we love to hear from you, and we'd love to hear what you'd like us to cover in the off season. We love you so much. We cherish our babes. We cherish our pet hats. Actually, I'm going to be on a silent podcast next week with Sarah Carradine talking about what's been going on so far this year and what TV shows I recommend. So that'll be great. Anyway, otherwise, we will see you in just over a week. We love and cherish you. Bye.
Bye.